Hello everyone, this is PL9, and let's take a bite out of Legend of Steve. This is a 1.8 adventure made by Shells 124 and Doricio, and as the name suggests, it's based off the Legend of Zelda series, of course with its own Minecraft twist, although if you think about it, shouldn't Steve be the princess in that case? I don't even know why it's called Legend of Zelda. Princess Steve. That's a pretty good one. Anyway, I digress. So what you do in this map is you fight through various dungeons and optional dungeons, just like what the Legend of Zelda series is known for. For example, there's the forest, fire, and water temples from the Ocarina of Time game. And one thing that really stands out about this map for me is that it's very highly polished in terms of the command blocks it uses to really present small details that really make the world feel more real. Like at the end of the temples, there are boss fights and mini boss fights, etc. that are really highly scripted, and they work a lot differently than normal Minecraft fights, and I think that makes for a really fun and unique gameplay experience. So like The Legend of Zelda, there's a lot of combat in the dungeons with various puzzle elements mixed in, and overall, I really enjoy this map, because I think that the details and just the little cinematic effects that they make with the command blocks really makes it stand out from other adventure maps. It makes it play differently from other adventure maps, and overall I think it's just a really well-packaged game. Without further ado, let's get to the gameplay. So this is the Legend of Steve lobby. So you can see it has the banners, the letter banners. I always thought these were pretty cool. Suggested settings, the start is here, a little bit of preface information. Welcome to Legend of Steve by Shells 124 and Doricio at Minecraft Adventure Map, etc, etc. And here are the rules. So the first rule is don't be dumb. Second rule is single player only, and third rule is have fun. And I was looking at this, and it felt weird to me. It felt really funny, this don't be dumb being a rule. And I think this is why it bothers me. So it may not seem like a quote-unquote big deal, but what does this rule really mean? Don't be dumb. It's vague enough to be interpreted in a lot of ways. Does it mean it's not okay to be a mute? Does it mean I should feel bad for being stuck on a puzzle? Is the Legend of Steve only for elite intellectual Minecrafters? I don't know. It's just it also, here, let me go on a rules rant real quick. This is bad because I do like this map. I like this map a lot, but just allow me to go on a rules rant. So rules are kind of meant, to prevent people or players from doing things that they normally would do. Take example rule number 2, it says single player only, because if you have friends, of course you're going to want to play with your friends. So this rule here serves a really specific purpose with telling you that, hey, you would normally play with your friends, and this rule is telling you that it's single player only because it would break if it's multiplayer. So with that in mind, I think this is why it makes me feel funny, because if it says don't be dumb, then that's kind of insinuating that the player is normally dumb. That's just what I was feeling when I was reading it, and I think it's important because that's the first rule and the first thing that you read when you come into this map, and it kind of leaves you on a negative tone. But other than that, let's move on, because I actually think that otherwise the map is really nice. So of course, this map includes references to Nintendo, Legend of Zelda games, Ethos Lab. I think General Spaz, which is the main antagonist, is from Ethos Labs. I'm not too familiar with General Spaz myself, but it seems like a pretty humorous character. And these are all the settings. I just suggest going through these, especially since particles are quite important just for the effects of this map. So I have tuned up all my settings for that, and let's just start. Ooh. This is really reminiscent of the first scene of Ocarina of Time as well, where you're met by the spirits in the beginning. Steve. And you hear a Steve. The world is in danger. General Spaz is attacking. Can I jump? Even now, his dark tower hovers above your world. What kind of particles are these? So I'm really getting distracted. I never took a look at these. They're diamond shaped. Whoops. Do you have what it takes to stop him? Go wake yourself up and defeat General Spaz. Wow, I'm the Spaz. I totally did not pay attention to any of that. But regardless, this is our humble house. Actually looks pretty nice. And of course, I'm once again using the Faithful texture pack. And let's kind of explore. We have to loot our initial chest. We get our armor. We get our head of Steve, so instead of my glasses face, I have a Steve face. This looks really funny. And put on our pants. And yeah, so here we are in the starting town. I'm not sure if it has a name or not. I didn't actually get a name when I was playing for this first. But it's a really humble village, but as you can see, it's already being loomed over by General Spaz's evil castle. So if you try to leave, at first, of course, the guard's going to stop you, because we have no way of defeating General Spaz or anything right now. It's dangerous to go out there. I can't let you go out until you have a way of defending yourself. So let's take a quick tour of the town. So let's see, where we're going to get our sword is from the general store. The general store has a bunch of various items. Like, this is a really cool effect for a shop. As the items become available, they'll start displaying here, and you just step over this pressure plate to select which item you want to buy. But the iron sword costs 5 rupees, which we don't have right now. We're gonna have to scrounge around for some money. And one of the easiest ways to get money in this game is actually by talking to Bob. So Bob says, "I love red flowers. I'll buy any red flower you may have. I'll trade you some shears to grab any flower you find. It's almost as easy as cutting grass." In fact, I think it is just as easy as cutting grass. But before, whoops, I actually didn't show that. Before we can actually get any shears, we actually have to pay Bob 2 rupees. So we're gonna have to just looting around and rob from the citizenry to get our shears. And around the village, a lot of these NPCs will have different various quests for you. Like Gorman here says, "I can't find my mixing bowl. I'll trade you a torch for a bowl." Like, this spawns a whole long trading quest, kind of also reminiscent of what happens in Ocarina of Time. Don't mind me. I'm just looking for money to steal. Excuse me. What is this place? Bomb shop is closed. I didn't even notice that. Oh dear, I wonder why the bomb shop is closed. Something happened here. Let's see, need a breach. That's such a funny slogan for a bomb shop. Got a cookie. And I'd advise players not to eat this. I think you can eat this, but cookies are for another side quest in the town. But we have the 20 rupees. Actually, we have enough for an iron sword as well. But I kind of want to demonstrate just how the flower cutting works as well. Kind of interesting because the emeralds that you get from flower cutting actually don't stack, which can sometimes be a little bit annoying. Right here, let's kind of just cut a couple of flowers. There are going to be flowers everywhere. Like, as you travel along the path to the different dungeons, you can just pick up the flowers on the way. It's a really good way to pick up some extra cash. Just take these 4, trade in these poppies, and bing, get experience, and you get a little bit of coins. But as you can see, they don't they don't stack too well. So if you have to trade, you have to kind of trade with one or the other. Because a lot of the item buying in this game comes from like actually trading with a villager-like object. Here, actually, this part is cool. Let's ring up the shopkeeper. Ding ding. Oh yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, cool details like this. I really like that. The shopkeeper like comes out from his back area, which happens to be a solid wall. That's okay. Sorry, I keep missing what they're saying. Yes, how may I help you? When you have selected an item you wish to purchase, come talk to me. Right now, if you right-click on the shopkeeper, it doesn't really do anything. But if you come here, select an iron sword. It kind of selects itself with this. Is this acacia or is this jungle? Uh-oh. My knowledge of Minecraft woods is failing a little bit. I really don't know the difference. Sorry, I'm missing the text again. So what do you need a sword for? I don't think you can take on General Spaz, do you? You don't think you can take on General Spaz, do you? Well, if you are, let me offer some advice. The only reason General Spaz doesn't attack the town is because he can. There are 3 guardians protecting the town: forest, fire, and water. Because General Spaz has sent monsters to attack the... Because of this... Wow, I'm reading really horribly. You know what? I'm gonna just read that. Because the whole story is that we have to go and protect the guardians that are protecting the town, or else they'll fall to great evils. Now we can purchase a sword by right-clicking on the shopkeeper, which I thought was really cool. Here's the thing where the stacking kind of gets annoying because I can't buy an iron sword with these rupees. I just have to stack up 5 here. Alright, sweet. Got ourselves an iron sword. And that will allow us to exit the town. Hurrah. So we come here. Green signifies the forest temple. And pass without a problem. The guard won't mind us at all. And we can't trade with any of the other guards. Let's just bounce around here. The traveling between the different areas takes a little bit while, but usually there are like some scripted events that come in between. This one says the mountain trail, which goes off in this direction. The first time I came to the sign, I thought that this was the way to go, just because it's the only way with an arrow. But we're actually supposed to go in this other direction. That threw me off a little bit at first, but this is actually the way to go to the forest temple. Oops, I'm bouncing too much. I'm starving. I probably actually should have picked up more food as well. Let's see where we can go. So the path is pretty clearly defined. You can walk off the path at any time, but it really doesn't lead you anywhere. So it's just a good idea to stick to the path. But the Skull Kid whispers to us, where do you think we're going? Definitely not in that direction. Let's stick to the path. Here it's a little bit broken. Are you really set on defeating me? I really need to work on my sinister voice. I'm sorry for all you skeletons. That doesn't look pleasant at all. That was really surprising. It's kind of funny that the first thing that they do when they pop into this world is start burning up. Oh dear. But that was pretty easy since they all just caught on fire immediately. Alright, look out behind you. As I was saying, I really need to work on my sinister voice because it's like really not good. I'm just like speaking, voicing these villains with like the most boring of voices. So that one's just hanging out. I think I'm just gonna leave them there. We have a forest temple to defeat. And now the Skull Kid is counting us. I've given up on voicing the Skull Kid. I'm just going to I'm just gonna narrate the Skull Kid in first person or third person. Alright, when we enter a dungeon, oops. Let me actually talk about this egg after we deal with these tiny little annoying creatures. I have to say it. Baby zombies, I think, are my least favorite mob in all of Minecraft. They're so vicious. Which is why I really hate to see baby villagers die as well. Whoops, I'm getting a little bit of frame rate drops as well. And now we can talk about this Uku egg. I actually don't know how to pronounce that. Uku. I didn't actually. This is a game mechanic from Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, a game I actually never played, so I don't really know how to pronounce this properly. But what it basically does is, if you use it, yeah, maybe I can demonstrate right now. It teleports you back to town. Like here we are, back to town. There's an Uku shop that you can go back and forth from. But what you do is you basically just step on this pressure plate again, and it takes you right back to the dungeon where you were. And I think that's like a super cool way of making the traveling time a little bit less tedious, which is why I think that, well, because travel time is obviously like one of the more boring parts of any game, so anything to help reduce it is a pretty good thing. So anyway, the door's locked, we need to find a key. Just being adventurous, seeing where a key potentially is. Yay! Small key. So we can take the small key and open up the door. Really cool things like this, really small problems that must be solved before we continue. Yes. Hedge labyrinth. Here we go. Here's a hedge labyrinth puzzle. The quick catch to this one is this: it's not just the normal maze. There are different colored wool blocks here, which are activated and deactivated with levers. Let's see, here's a pink wool block, which corresponds to the different pink wool blocks around the maze. Not only does the lever block off, or not only does the lever unblock pink wool barriers, it also puts up other pink wool blocks that block other paths. Did that make any sense? I think I said the word block way too many times. I think it'd just be better to demonstrate it. It's a little bit frustrating in this maze that you have to jump to see anything, like see where things are being affected and whatnot. I'm just personally always not a fan of first-person mazes, just because it feels like getting lost more than it does solving a puzzle, which is why it's like really fun to solve a top-down maze, but not necessarily a first-person maze. But Anyway, let's just demonstrate this. Enough talking. So as you see, like the pink wool blocks that we saw before are gone, but there are new pink wool blocks over there. So at least it has unlocked another path for us to go on, and we have another red one that we can pull. And that's just generally how the puzzle works. So I'm not going to show all of this on camera right now. I'm just going to weasel my way through it a little bit. But if you play this map, you can figure it out. It's eventually you kind of get the hang of where the wool blocks are and what they do. And the only annoying part is that you kind of have to jump to see anything like the whole way. But that's about it. So let's just try and get to the next place that we can. We got, if we take a look, we've got a room over there, a room over there, and the final room, which I think leads to the boss. Yeah, it's a little insignia of the Forest Temple. I think that's the end of it all. But we first need to get to those other rooms first. Alright, and I think that does it. I think we have access to the first room. So overall, like, labyrinths are always a little bit tedious, but I actually think this one is, or at least the puzzle element of it is pretty well put together. It usually involves having to backtrack, disactivate levers that you activated before that has opened like another alternate path through things, and it's not too bad. I think that I've definitely seen much worse labyrinths in Minecraft before. First room, where are we at right now? It's the middle of the night, so unfortunately skeletons won't be burning up if they spawn in front of us. And what do we have here? Chest. Although I have this really bad feeling that something bad's gonna happen when I pull this. It seems like way too peaceful for that not to happen. Oh sweet, a bow. Although an @ sign is talking to me. It seems that there be witches. It's so unfortunate that we get the bow now, because like I have to say, bow and arrows are like the worst against witches. It just does not deal damage fast enough. Yikes, and they're just like, I'm so scared of witches. I wish I could just run past them, but I think we're gonna have to take them on. Maybe we'll catch this one, which is a little bit separated from the pack. Alright, great, got one. Hopefully they waste their time like doing water breathing or something. Although I'm poisoned. Alright, how long does the poison last? 7 seconds, not actually too bad. I think we'll be able to recover fairly well from that. Next up, we'll try head to the other room. See, we're blocked off by white and blue. Anyway, I'm just gonna feel around, see if I can find the solution to this problem, or I'll be trapped in here forever. We'll see. I think we finally got the configuration right so that we can head off clearly to the next room. And I actually think that the main problem with first-person labyrinths is just not having the visibility. You know, not having the as I'm saying this, I'm getting totally lost. Not having the visibility to like make choices that feel significant. So I think that what might help a lot is hold on, let me actually just figure out where I'm going. What might help a lot is, here we go. Here's the next room. Let me finish my thoughts first though. What might help a lot though is if all these hedges were taken down by one block and replaced with either like barrier blocks or like a half block, which would just allow you to see like so much more of the maze and just allow you to make a lot, or at least make you feel like you're making a lot better decisions while you're going through the maze. I think that would actually help ease the feeling of getting lost in the tedium a little bit of solving this puzzle, or just first-person mazes in general. Just being able to see where you're going is, I think, a really big thing for me. All right, let's head off into this one. So here we go. What do we have here? We have a little bit of a command block conveyor belt going on here. I think that these are just stairs to help us move along. And I'm pretty sure that this is an archery range part. If I remember correctly, this part was also very hard to do because it was a little bit choppy in the command blocks, but not impossible. And it could be actually just my computer, but I think I have a half decent computer, so maybe it's just a little bit too much load, or maybe it's just a little bit of, why can't I hit that one? There, but regardless, it's not too bad. We can finish these off. It's just a little tiny bit finicky. But did that do anything? Did that allow us to get anything, or did I fail? Did I fail that? Did I miss a block? Actually, we're going to go back inside here because I think did that open? I think that might have just opened the way up into the next part, which means we're gonna have to do a little bit more feeling around in this maze. Okay, sweet. The way the boss is open, and I think this will be the last thing that we showcase, just because they just kind of show like how a low-level boss fight in this place goes. Oh, this one is so cool. I just love the use of armor stands. Skull Kid laughing at us. So you finally made it here after all. And stuff. I've given up. I've given up on voicing the Skull Kid. I can't do it. I just can't. This is my main dilemma. Like, Skull Kid trying to kill me is not my main dilemma. My inability to voice Skull Kid trying to kill me is my main dilemma right now. Oh, these things actually hit really hard. I should be trying to focus myself more. It's so funny because you can just see Skull Kid dancing here, and how this fight goes is you just kind of have to hit Skull Kid and he just vanishes, teleports, spawns more minions, and that's how the flow of the fight goes. First fight of the map. Of course, it's not going to be too hard. Just kind of sink a couple arrows into Skull Kid and avoid Skull Kid's minions. Maybe we can just like kind of camp out here on the tree. Make sure that things, oops, don't get to me. Oh, maybe I should take care of these minions before they start overwhelming me then. Yikes. Looks like they have a... I thought they lost focus on me for a second. That'd have been really funny. I'll just... They're getting a little bit distracted. They're getting a little bit distracted in this fight. I think they're a bit distracted with Skull Kid's funny dad dancing. Oh no! I didn't realize that Skull Kid teleported around. Did that actually count as me hitting Skull Kid? Interesting. Did I just break the game? Or is Skull Kid dancing around here somewhere? Oh, there we go. Way up there. I think we can hit him from here. There we go. I don't know how that works. Maybe it just detects whether anything is near Skull Kid, and maybe that's why Skull Kid vanished there. Not too sure. And these skeletons, you really need to... Skull Kid really needs to pay the skeleton minions more. They're not doing their job at all. And I think, is that... Yep, there we go. That's the last one. Aww. I thought this was really cute. Skull Kid says, no, you lie. Vanishes in a puff of fancy particles. Alright, nice. That's the end of the dungeon. And I think that will be the end of the video as well. Hopefully this was a pretty good showcase of what of all that Legend of Steve has to offer. I think it's a really, really fun adventure. There's a lot of cool details that go into it, and despite what I was talking about with like the puzzles, etc., I actually think that there's a lot of fun stuff to do in this map. Besides these main dungeons, there are also like the different there are also a lot of different optional dungeons as well, which are really fun to explore. You get various loot bonuses for that. Let's see what happens when we return to town. Flash! And that's it. And now we're ready to head off into the second dungeon. The second dungeon is not here. Sorry, this is like an informational room that reading can be done in. I meant to go into the shopkeeper store. But the next dungeon we have to go to is the fire dungeon, but I don't think that we'll be showing that in this episode. We can buy extra bows and arrows now, and we can buy a fire resist potion. This is pretty cool that as more things get unlocked, more things kind of pop up here. So if we wanted to, we could just say, hey, we want a fire resist potion now. Actually, we have to summon the shopkeeper. I'm always going to giggle when I see this. This is great. How may I help you? And we can just nab the fire resist potion. But anyway, I think that will be it for this episode. As always, thanks for joining me. Legend of Steve. Very fun. Check it out and download in the description down below. And I'll see you all next time. Can I hit this? Oh, but I can push it. Oh, jump out. Be free, shop creeper. Be free. No? Forever the commercial salesman.